If you want to watch the whole show exclusively on odds.com, just hit the link at the bottom of the screen. We have one more 425 game. Then we have the Sunday nighter and the Monday nighter. We may touch on the Tuesday game briefly, but let's roll here. One more 425 game. Washington Football Club, 5-7, 2-4 on the road at San Francisco 49ers, 5-7, 1-5 at home, but it is at State Farm Stadium in Glendale, Arizona, because of the county that the Niners play and aren't allowed any kind of outdoor events and physical contact. Washington coming off an impressive 23-17 win at Pittsburgh. Alex Smith, 31-46 for 296 yards, 1 touchdown. Tight end Logan Thomas looked excellent. God, did he look so big and tough. And 9 catches for 98 yards. Cam Sims, too, 5 catches for 92 yards. Running back Antonio Gibson hurt his knee on Washington's first play. They couldn't move the ball on the ground after that. They ran 21 times for just 45 yards after losing Gibson. Tight end Tarek Hemingway hurt his wrist. Defensive end Ryan Anderson remains out of the lineup. Niners coming off 34-24 loss in Arizona. Mullins, 26-39, 316 yards, 3 touchdowns, 2 interceptions. Jeff Wilson at times looked excellent. 7 runs for 47 yards. Raheem Mostert, 9 runs for 42 yards. Brandon Ayuk caught 5 balls for 95 yards and a touchdown. Deebo Samuel caught 6 for 73. Defensive tackle DJ Jones hurt his ankle. We don't know the extent of it. Cornerbacks Kwan Williams and Emmanuel Mosley were inactive last week, remain out. Bebsie can give us the best look at the Niners' injury issues. Washington, San Francisco, Washington opening up as 4.5-point dogs. They're now 3.5-point dogs, and that's even moved down to 3. This total sitting at 43.5. This might be a great buy low spot on the Niners after that disappointing performance against the Bills. I said in Arizona. Niners coming off 34-24 loss to Buffalo in Arizona. My fault. I didn't say that right. Is this a great spot to buy low on the Niners?
I think it is, and it's you're selling high on Washington as well because Washington just upset the Steelers.
Yeah.
And look, a lot of friends were texting me before this game being like, hey, can your Niners pull it out? And, I just said no. I didn't like it. A lot of it had to do with the field change. Now they're not playing at home. And also just the fact that with Mosley out, they didn't have a viable third corner. And it showed all night. They exploited the fact that the Niners were playing zone, couldn't muster up a good enough pass rush, and Josh Allen is so good at stepping outside and making those plays. And look, they didn't have anyone to cover Cole Beasley. That was the problem. They were without nickel corners. And, if you don't have a nickel corner and somebody who can match up against a guy like Cole Beasley will low-key destroy your team. And that's exactly what happened. They couldn't cover him. They tried to switch to man, but the problem is as soon as they switch to man, nobody on that team is capable of covering Stephon Diggs. Now, the Niners should be getting Mosley back. They should be getting Kwan Williams back, which is a huge lift, but they lost DJ Jones probably for the season on the D-line. So, again, this is a very tough spot because what San Francisco does well is run the ball, and that front seven is – we've talked about it all year. It felt like it took the NFL 7 or 8 weeks longer to catch up to the fact that this is a great defensive front in Washington, and they have played better and better as the year goes on. And now that Alex Smith can keep their offense on the field a little longer, they're looking even better. But I don't know. Kyle Shanahan looked like he had a lazy game plan for this Bills game. They barely got the ball in Mostert's hands. Deebo Samuel didn't get a catch until the second half. And you saw when they started getting him the ball, that offense opened up because teams have to respect him. So I don't think Shanahan makes that same mistake 2 weeks in a row. I think Mostert has a bigger game. And if Kwan Williams and Emmanuel Mosley are back, that should fix some of their coverage woes. And I think this is a good sell high, buy low spot for both of these teams.
I agree. And I think that juice right now, -3, -120. Let me verify that at Bet365. I think we'll get a regular -110 if we wait. I think Niners are the play here after Washington's huge win.
And look, I've been bullish on Washington for several weeks in a row, and I just don't know if I can get behind them this week. I think Kyle Shanahan's game plan was atrocious for the Bills, and I don't think he makes that same mistake this week. And therefore, I think it was Jay-Z who asked me about first half under. Not if Kyle is on his game. So this is still a tough spot, but I think the Niners are. I think you'll see this line move through the week. So if you want the Niners, I think now's the time to jump on it.
See, I don't. You really think so? I think money's going to keep coming in on Washington.
Yeah, maybe. I mean, maybe that's just.
So you mean when they start announcing that Kwan Williams is back and things of that nature?
Yeah, I do think as soon as they announce that they have some of their players back, and I mean, we would know today maybe. They're saying Kittle even is close to coming back. But I don't think they've opened his practice window, so if they haven't yet, he won't be back.
Wow, my bad. Christian just letting us know, and I just saw the clip of it. 2 passing touchdowns for Lamar Jackson, and my bad. I did not expect him to hit that. Interesting. So I think until that's talked about by the media that these guys are coming back, I think more money is going to keep coming on Washington.
I think even if Mosley comes back and has to play the slot, he played well in the slot when a couple weeks ago when Jamar Taylor went out. And Mosley was a game time decision. He didn't play. I think he's back. I think that's enough of a lift. K'Wan Williams obviously being a bigger lift.
Well, I'm still going to wait. I want -110, not -120.
Yeah, Mr. Funmonk's right. They're not going to bring Kittle back, especially if his practice window hasn't opened. But I don't think they're even going to put him on the field if they're not looking at that wild card spot.
Is Alex Smith going to step up after his rich history with the Niners?
Yeah, I mean, you always expect a guy who played that long again or with the team and left in the manner that he did. But look, none of those guys are there anymore. None of that coaching staff is there anymore. It's just the owner that's there. You know, he cares more about overtaking the Giants for first place than he does about beating his old team. And also, like, what does that even mean? You want to win every fucking week. So you should always be playing your best.
Yeah, I feel that. I'm not gonna bet the Niners tonight. I'm gonna see if I can get that down to -110. I think a lot of people are going to be high on Washington after that performance. I need the 3 though. I can't let that 3.5 go. So I'll be keeping a very close eye on it. Bebsie, this total very low at 43.5. If you had a free $500 bet, you go over it or under it?
I go over that.
So would I. I think it's too low.
I think it's too low. Again, it's probably a bit of a recency bias looking at these 2 Monday night games. But yeah, I think there's a bit of value in the over here. Like I said, Kyle Shanahan's game plan this week was bad, and I think matchup-wise, this Niners defense has played extremely well all season long, considering the injuries they've had. But matchup-wise, look, they ran into a unique set of players that just killed them with their injuries. Like I said, there was nobody to cover Beasley. And so as soon as they switched away from zone, there was nobody to cover Diggs. And Josh Allen is a good, big, mobile quarterback who's accurate. So they won't play as bad this week as they did next week defensively. And I think they'll have a much better game plan offensively than they did this week. It was just a matchup nightmare for San Francisco. It's why I stayed off that game. And I think this is a better week for San Francisco.
I agree. I think this is a move on San Francisco and the over. I'll be doing both of them.